live. Welcome everyone, welcome change makers. It's Amelía here from Know the Self Mystery School, and I am joined tonight with the lovely Gena Burghoff. I'm just gonna double check that I am actually live. Yes, I am, okay. If you're joining with us tonight, can you like the video and say hello in the comments? Let us know where you're calling in from and sort of what's the local status where you're at. Let us know. I'm just gonna have so many windows open. Okay, 1 second. I see Rachel's here, Julia, Paula. Welcome. Okay, yeah, there we go. Okay, some of you are joining in. Hi, Agatha. Hello, hello. So Agatha, you're from Iceland, I know that. Rachel, where are you calling in from? Julia's in Philly. Cody, where are you calling in from tonight? Let us know in the comments. April's here from Albuquerque. Nice. I see you guys joining in. So welcome. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Amelía. I run the Know the Self Mystery School. I am a master mystic and a Kundalini activator. And I'm joined with Gena tonight. Gena is, we've joined together to clear the fear. We're going to be offering a little activation, some guided meditation, and Gena practices something called SRT. It's spiritual response therapy. She uses it to clear allergies, to clear, gosh, everything you can think of, from houses to ghosts to dimensional shifts of consciousness, anything that might be bothering you in the seen or the unseen realms. And you're going to get to see a little bit of her at work there. She's got her pendulum and her charts. Gena's a mom of a little 4-year-old, and when Saxon was born, he had over 100 allergies, and that's what brought her into this work. And she started clearing them, and now she does it for others. And she has been working with, I don't know, we've been working together like 2 or 3 years now, and Gena's just a total rock star. So I'm really happy to have you here. She's in Montana and I am in Mexico. Gena, do you want to say anything more about SRT and what you're going to share with us tonight?
Yeah, sure. So I love SRT because from a spiritual perspective, it's really logical and linear. This is my full book, and there's a bunch of charts, and basically this is the main chart, and then you kind of bounce off this one and just start clearing. You definitely have to use a lot of intuition, and as you become more trained in it, you can hear a lot more things. But it's a really practical way of healing that doesn't lead you into the unknown. Sometimes you can really keep track of it, and I love it.
Yeah, I'm super excited. So Gena, do you want to share with us a little bit how we came up with this thing tonight about the virus, and how you're going to be using SRT to clear it, and how we're going to work in a collective, just so people understand a little bit of
totally.
magic?
So I have kind of a protocol with this protocol. only has 14 on it, and then I have questions. Basically what we want to do is figure out, so right now I'm offering these little mini clearings that are specific to the coronavirus. But in a group like this that's larger, really we want to work on like the number one question, that's the collective that we're all kind of dealing with. And as I was testing that before everyone got on, it would be number 7, which is what percentage am I being allowed to be controlled by the media? And you know, the media right now, whether we are using it for logical information or or like working on our own agendas in a weird way, it can really control our fear and emotions. And we kind of disconnect with our connection from spirit. So my goal tonight with everybody is to just get us all grounded back in our bodies, our connection to spirit back to 100%. And then when you read the media, because we all have to right now, we have to know what's going on, where we're at, what our rules and regulations are from where we are. But when you're reading it, then you'll be able to feel from a more grounded space that you're not emotionally reacting. So that's my goal for everybody tonight.
Awesome. So a lot more people have joined. I just want to give a shout out to Kristen and Milana and Amy, Satya, hello. So Amy said SRT is spiritual response therapy. It's a chart-based dowsing system. Thank you, Amy. Yeah, Elaine was asking, she missed what SRT was. So I don't know if you want to expand on that, Gena.
Yeah, spiritual response therapy. So we work with past lives, future lives. It's hard, all the dimensions that it's hard to get our conscious brain around. But all of these lives that we've lived, past and future, all hold discordant energies at times. And so we learn all of these lessons, but if we don't clear that that discordant energy from the lesson, sometimes it can repeat and then grow as a collective, which is where we're at right now.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, I'm gonna try something with my audio and hopefully I'm not gonna get reverb. That's what I thought. You can hear me, Gena?
I can hear, yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, I just had to open this video so I can see all the people chatting in. So welcome everyone. Hi, Jenny, Justin, Monica, David, Michelle, Jane, Kiki. Awesome. Someone's coming in from, Rachel's in Vancouver. Okay, so I want to know, everyone, what's going on in your neck of the woods, right? So here I am in Mexico where it's, you know, hot and it's a very big tourist destination. And right now it's empty. All the tourists have left. A lot of people have lost their jobs. Businesses are closing left and right. Like every day we see another business shut down and it's kind of depressing. But also there's nobody who's really sick. I haven't met anyone who's sick. Nobody here seems to be afraid of the virus whatsoever. They're just kind of freaked out about their livelihood and their business, and sort of the wave coming from America. And Gena's in a very different environment. She's in Montana where it's really cold. Gena, what's happening there? Are you guys on full lock? Oh, and also we're on like voluntary quarantine. So there's nothing mandatory here right now, but what's happening for you, Gena? And everyone else, please type it in.
Yeah, I'd love to hear where everyone's at with everything. So right now, what's going on with us is we just went down into the stay at home, what is it? Stay in place. I'm sorry, I just spaced on what it's called. But so only essential shops are open. So grocery stores, post office, restaurants can still deliver and do takeaway. But we are pretty much on lockdown because Montanans, as some states are, pretty stubborn. And so everyone has just been out and about. And we are pretty much kind of last on the list as far as getting supplies. You know, a lot of the big cities are going to get a lot of that stuff. So if we're not careful here, we really got to play it safe. Right.
So yeah, a lot of people are in really different stages of how this pandemic is hitting the area that you live in. Elaine's in New York City. She said it's a ghost town and she does know someone who's sick and many are dying. Kristen's in Oakland. It's all about shelter in place. Only essential businesses are open. Michelle lives in the entertainment district in, oh no, where'd it go? In Toronto. She said it's very quiet now. Amy's also under shelter in place orders in the SF Bay Area. Kids are out of school, at least until May 1st. Kiki said San Diego's on lockdown. Yeah, so, you know, a lot of this whole pandemic is causing, you know, worldwide fear, right? People, whether you're enjoying it like I am, because it hasn't really changed my life that much, and I'm finding like the beach to myself and it's really quiet and I hear the birds in the morning and it feels really calm. I also know that there is a massive amount of fear going on. And of course, no matter how strong we are, that fear sinks into us. And so what Gena, these 14 questions that Gena and her colleagues have come up with is to really address where the fear hides out in the body. And she's gonna go through her protocols. We're not gonna explain all of what she's doing tonight because that would just take way too long. We're gonna try and keep this session to an hour, but she's gonna be doing a collective clearing on where the fear is hiding. So what it's gonna do is just reduce the charge of that fear. So we can have fears, and some fears are very healthy to have, right? Like maybe we're having a fear of financial security or things like that. And we need that fear to create change, right? We need to feel the fear or feel the lack or a sense that, okay, things are changing on a large scale for everybody. And what is your role and how to stay calm in the midst of all of that. Gena, do you want to say anything else about how you clear this or what exactly you're clearing?
It's probably going to come up as we go, but as far as exactly what I'm clearing, before everyone got on, I tried to get everybody, grounded in their bodies. If there's anyone that doesn't feel like they're grounded, you can go ahead and comment, and Amelía will read out your name. But you should be feeling a little bit better, and we're going to slowly take away the layers of the anxiety, and hopefully by the end of the hour, you're just going to feel a lot better. Because what we want to do is become an so we can be more proactive instead of reactive, right? Like, how can I help my situation instead of, oh shit, I'm in a situation. We want to keep it moving forward.
Yeah. So one thing I want to say is that, there's a lot of theories of why this is happening now. And I have a lot of theories and insights into that. I've been watching this kind of come about, knew something was coming. So I'm very excited about it. I think right now is a time of beautiful change, and change is always really, really uncomfortable. And right now we're in a collective, like dark night of the soul, a spiritual awakening for the whole planet. And how we tread through this time is really going to, it's going to position you for the next step in your life. So I'm here to encourage you to find your dharma, to find that life purpose, that gift that you uniquely carry, because you wouldn't be alive right now if you weren't here to offer something really valuable to the conversation and to your community. So we're gonna do a little guided meditation to kind of get you grounded in your body. I'm gonna share some of my energetic techniques with you before we get started in the clearing, just so you can understand how your energetic system works and kind of create that sovereignty and really own your power. With all the disinformation in the news and all the different distractions coming up, it's really imperative right now that you learn how to find your stillness, how to silence your mind, how to come into that point within yourself that is your navigation. And your truth might be different from everyone else around you. In fact, many of you are going to be experiencing that. And it's really important that you listen to yourself, that you trust your instincts, that you hone your instincts, and really understand how to hear your own voice versus the voice of the collective, which can be, right now, is extremely chaotic. Okay, before we jump in, I would love to hear from all of you, what is the best thing that you're getting out of this quarantine time? Like, what are you loving the most? And I'm just gonna start looking at a lot of people are writing in right now. I know there's a delay in the lag. So Milana's in Pennsylvania, mandatory lockdown. Yeah, she thinks it's getting worse. Can't. Oh, wow. Even there's certain restrictions on how you put your trash out for collection. In Iceland, people are still relaxed, no panic at all, but we have many people infected. Emily, hi Emily, you're in LA. Things are on lockdown here. Cases are increasing. She's mentally checking the news. She doesn't personally know anyone is ill. Hilda in Oakland, Bay Area. Essential businesses open. Shortened hours, sheltering in place. Yeah. Michelle said she would love to hear my theories. I'm going to share that on another thread, maybe later this week. And I'm getting close to sharing it, but not sure people are going to be happy about it. Sometimes, you know, the truth is really hard to digest. So I really encourage all of you guys to tune out anything that doesn't resonate. What's that, Gina?
I said I haven't even signed up for it yet. So
yeah. One thing at a time. Let's all
let's clear the media first and we'll go from there.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So I want to hear, hey Arpan, hi Nick, hello Misty. She loves sleeping in, right? Malona loves time alone and that she's able to work from home. Kiki's appreciating the slowdown. April said it's quiet. David is opening up to the future, even though it's profoundly uncertain. Jenny's loving the quiet in the neighborhood. She had left Oakland to vacation in Hawaii because of the noise and the busyness, and now it's quiet in Oakland. Hi, Miho. Satya said being home is pretty awesome. Yes, David, I will share my theories in another call, so stay tuned for that. Justin is appreciating the opportunity to being the eye of the storm. Good. April's riding her bicycle on sunny days. Monica's loving the focus and the calm. April is say she's still working, so not much has changed for her. Jane's loving the opportunity to spend time in nature and reflection time at home and to connect with spirit. Good. People are loving that. The air feels cleaner, less cars. Paula's loving the silence and her beautiful walks. Yeah, I went to the beach this morning and it was empty, and I've never seen the beach empty. It's so crowded here. So that, and the water was clean, and I'm seeing white fluffy clouds. So there's some incredible blessings that this pandemic is giving us. All right, so I'm going to guide us into a little meditation here. So you can turn on your inner guidance system. So if you guys can just get quiet with yourself and maybe make sure you're not going to be disturbed so that you can really focus. You might want to have a piece of paper just in case something comes up in your meditation. We get a lot of beautiful insights when we meditate, and it's nice to be able to capture those. So if you want to grab a piece of paper and just make sure that you feel safe where you are, that you can close your eyes and get quiet and just go inward. So finding a comfortable posture. And if you're comfortable, close your eyes and just start concentrating on your breath. Feeling the inhale and the exhale moving through your body. Notice how the breath feels. Notice if there's any strange sensations in your body. And if you want to make a sigh when you're exhaling, just releasing any excess tension. If you're having any troubles breathing, you might want to concentrate on what you're hearing, or a smell, if there's something you can smell, or if you have an essential oil. Basically, we want to hone in on one sense, whatever sense that is. Maybe it's a feeling sense. Maybe you're really aware of something going on in your body. Just bring your attention there and see if you can slow down your breath. And as best as possible, see if you can keep your spine really straight, like reaching up into the sky and down into the earth. And I want you to imagine around you a bubble of energy. Like this is your personal space. You're just creating this huge bubble around you. And we're going to seal off that bubble to protect you from anything else that's not you. So we're going to take up all the space, make it larger than your outstretched arms. And just intend and declare that anything that's not yours needs to leave your personal space, your personal container. And this includes any thought forms, any belief systems that were inherited to you. It could be other people's energy that are leaning on you or pulling on your energy, cording to you. You can just push all that back, send it out, push it to the outside of your container. And sometimes we invite in like strange actual entities or particles. So if you see anything gray or like debris, just sweep it out, just move it out. You command your space. It's yours to command. Nobody else has control of this space unless you give it to them. So just taking back your power and asking everything that's not you to leave. And we're going to call back all aspects of you through all time and space, all dimensions, all timelines back that you might have fragmented off, like you had a trauma, something happened to you. We're going to call all those pieces of you back. Just see all those particles that are you, that you've left with another, that you've left in the past, flying back into your heart like your heart's a magnet, and it's just attracting these lost pieces back to you. And take a deep breath. Nice. And now I just want you to open up like a huge pillar of light down below you that's wider than your bubble, that's going down into the earth. Let it go through all of the levels of the earth, through the rock and the sediment and the lava, until you get to the crystal iron core, the very heart of the mother. And we're going to tether in like huge umbilical cord, and we're going to allow that energy just to come up from the earth, come up and over the top of our container. So we're nestled inside of it like a cocoon, and just allow the earth's magnetic pull to cleanse out anything that you missed that's not you, pulling out any debris in your system, any excess energy. You might feel your body's getting heavier, or you're getting warmer. That's a good sense that you're fully grounded. And I want you to stay aware of this container, this grounding, this huge grounding cord you have, this buried, nestled grounding cord, as we start going in to clear whatever fears. So Gena, go ahead and let us know what you're seeing in the collective.
Yeah, I mean, first off, everyone's feels really, really good. And when we do a lot of these group clearings, Amelia and I, and sometimes it's a challenge to get everybody on the same page, and everyone feels really good and ready to do this. So that's awesome. So I think there was a question that someone had mentioned, where did the number 7 come from? And I just want to be a little bit clear of it. Number 7 is just the number 7 on my list. And the reason why number 7 is coming up is because it's just this fear that sometimes we can be instilled with things that we read. And so that's what I'm going to work on with everybody right now. So what we're going to do is just envision, we're going to do like a visual exercise. So I would like everyone to kind of envision and feel the anxiety when you're reading the news. And then when you really come into that, take a deep breath and just know that you don't need the anxiety. You can accept the information without the anxiety. There's a belief system that a lot of us have in this group right now that that you need the anxiety to be able to react, and you don't. What you need is the information to be able to react logically. So that's why it's coming up as a priority. So what we're going to do as a collective, just the group of us that are here right now, is that we are going to clear the anxiety when reading the information that we need to go about our day. So take a deep breath. And I have some releasing statements here. I have 3, so all of them might not work for you, but I'm going to read them all out, and whichever one rings true to you, I would like you to tap on your temple. What this does is it brings it forward and into the conscious mind. So I'm going to give you 3 releasing statements. Please choose one or more if you feel like they would work for you. So the first one, I have faith we can create a happy life. That's the first one, okay? You can tap on your temple, and if you feel that's a good one for you, I have faith we can create life. The second one, I allow myself to accept help from others. I'm not sure why this one is coming up as a priority, but it's pretty important right now, coming into this new sense of community where we are. Help from others is going to be, this is no time for stubbornness. We all need to join together, and we need to form this bond and stop thinking that we can do everything on our own, right? So if this rings true to you, I allow myself to accept help from others. Now coming up on the third one. When we go through these really intense periods, most of us haven't gone through this in our lifetime as a collective like this. We have to keep our connection to spirit, and spirit is love, right? So this third one is pretty simple. It is possible to love again. It is possible to keep your connection with spirit throughout this entire process of whatever the heck we're going through right now. So tap on your temple. It is possible to love again. So these are the 3 really important ones as far as keeping that connection to spirit and keeping your center and grounding when reading the media and trying to figure out how to navigate what we're coming up on. Okay. Amelía, if you want to go ahead, I'm going to test another question. I'd like to do another one with everybody as well. Just give me a second.
Yeah. So you guys just keep taking some deep breaths and really feeling how it feels to be able to look at the news and receive the information of what's going on and to not feel anxiety or reaction from it, just to be able to see it with this expanded perspective. And imagine yourself being able to sort of rise above the drama, rise above all the feelings of anxiety, all the panic, all the craziness. Imagine yourself totally cool and calm as you're just assessing situations. Imagine yourself receiving a lot of help, like the whole community that you're surrounded by is coming together and working together for new solutions. Imagine how that feels. And I want you to go ahead and invite the central sun, the energy from the central sun, to shine down upon you right now like golden light. So you're just receiving this golden light, and the pillar of truth is just anchoring you right where you are as you're anchored with the earth. It's illuminating all the cells. Your whole bubble is filling up with this golden rays. And go ahead, Gena, whenever you want to jump in.
No, I'm good. I'm just moving on to the next question. This is interesting that we all came up with this one as a community. So when we have a disconnection to spirit and we're running high on emotions, what happens is we pop out of our bodies, right? We're no longer grounded. And when we pop out of our bodies for an extensive period of time, there's a good chance we're going to be dealing with this for a couple months now. Sorry, I'm just writing this down. We really need to, when we pop out of our bodies, we lose our physical vibration. When we lose our physical vibration, we lose the ability to heal ourselves. So this is actually coming up as a priority for us. And the question is, what are the frequencies of my organs and my entire body? We have to get that up to 100%. And it looks like, so appeasement has been coming up for a lot of my clients. And right now, our intuition is so important. If you feel like you should not go somewhere or you should not do something with someone, we have to listen. So the first releasing statement is, I know how to resist the pull to constantly appease others. I know how to resist the pull to constantly appease others. Just sit with that one for a second. That can cover so much of our lives, so much. So really sit with that one just for a second. Okay, good. The next releasing statement, remember, this is what we're doing to stay in our bodies, not pop out, not freak our soul out, that it wants to go through escapism, right? That it wants to not really be a part of this life that we've signed up for on earth in the physical body. We want to make sure that we're here and living this and experience it for whatever reason it might be for you. So one more releasing statement. The only person I am responsible for is me. The only person I am responsible for is me. What does this statement do? This gives us so much power, right? So much. It throws us back into our body. It allows us to make our own choices that we know are right for ourselves. It's huge. So hold on tight to that one, yeah? Let me do one more here.
And I am writing them in these releasing statements. I've wrote them in the comments in case you missed them or just want to keep saying it and tapping on your temples to anchor it in. Yeah.
So the third one, that this is going to be really important for you, staying in your body, keep your frequencies up, keep your body vibration up so you can, if you come in contact with the virus, you're able to fight it, right? This also allows people energetically in. It kind of completes a circuit for you, because we have to have this circuit with other people, right? I mean, if people aren't healthy, you can minimize the circuit, but we have to allow other people in. We have to allow for other people to help us. We have to allow for us to help them as well. So with this, I know how to love others without sacrificing my own freedom. I know how to help others without sacrificing my own freedom. Really important. No one needs a martyr right now, right? We have to know, we have to use our intuition. We have to do exactly what we know is right. And if you guys have trouble with that, you can email me. I can test things for you. Like, I want all of us to move through this as smoothly as we possibly can, okay?
And I just want to say there's a few people who just joined. I've typed in some questions. Just go ahead and tap your temple and say those statements out loud. And you're getting this collective healing is instilling into your system right now. I just want to say, please check your containers. So see that bubble around you and make sure it's really sealed off. Some of you kind of opened it back up, like allowed, or you just stopped paying attention to it and it dropped. You want to keep that bubble around you all the time. That is your personal space, and that is what you're responsible for. And there's no one else who can be responsible for it. That's your responsibility. So go back to tapping and saying the only person I'm responsible for is me, and I take full responsibility for my system. Thank you. Go ahead, Gena.
Perfect. Would you like to do one more, Amelía? Did you have something else that you want to do for the last 20 minutes?
I'd like you guys to activate the star seed. So as you're grounded there, so feel into that grounding cord. To be fully grounded, you want that grounding cord wider than your container and up and over your head. So if you're feeling anxiety or nervousness, or even a lot of lethargy and tired, just bury yourself in that grounding cord. Feel the earth come up and over and start to breathe with the planet. Like slow down your breath. You might imagine the waves coming in and out, seeing your breath moving with those waves, and seeing that central sun in the center of our galaxy shining down upon you. And these two energies come together right here in the chest and start to create an alchemical spark of energy. And we want to spark that energy open and turn on that light. It's our star seed that gets activated in the chest. It's like a golden globe. So just imagine, for some of you, this is brand new, and some of you in here are already lit up. Thank you. So lighting up your own sun in the center of your chest and letting it shine bright and start taking up your container and really filling it up, like allowing yourself to be fully present, fully owning your space all the way to the edge of your container. Great. And I want you guys to be practicing this every single day. If you're on my email list, you got like 11-minute meditation to walk you through this. Some of you can do it in seconds with your intention. Others of you might need to sit longer. I also have a 20-minute one. You can just walk through step by step till you anchor this. These are muscles we all have, but this is your energetic sovereignty. Good. Yeah, they're looking a lot better. Is there something more you wanted to clear, Gena?
Yes, let's do one more. Okay. What percentage have I regained the power to heal myself? And I think that this will be a really good one to kind of close on as well. So what percentage do we have basically are we grounded? Are we in our body? And is our connection to spirit? That's how we're going to heal ourselves, right? So what percentage as a collective group, everyone that's here, do we have the power to heal ourselves? So we're at 75%. So I'm just going to go through my charts just a little bit. There's some programs that clear. So programs are anything in the Akashic records. If you're not familiar with the Akashic records, these are all lifetimes, including future, that we've experienced. We've learned lessons, but there are discordant energies attached to them. So we have some collective programs here, and I'm just going to clear a couple before I give you those releasing statements. Okay, what else can we clear? It just wants to 90. I'm just going to bust through this really quick. It looks like life meaning and intimate relationships. It's hard right now. I've found myself looking at a lot of my friends as if they could be like a weapon of mass destruction, because you don't know who has what and what is going on. And I think that there's like a cutting of these amazing bonds that we have with people right now. So I urge you to reach out to people and to think of other ways that you can still bond and be close intimately with your friends. I think it's really important going through this time that we're not getting stuck in the me, and we're reaching out and asking everyone that we know, how can I help you? What can I do for you? Not only is that going to pull you out of your own BS in a way, but it's gonna throw that energy out so it can circulate back and come back to you twice as much, right? Okay, good. Now we can go into that. So what percentage have I regained the power to heal myself? Good. We're up to 95%, which means probably the rest is conscious percentage. That's the 100%. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to jump into a couple releasing statements. This might take me a second since I didn't research them ahead of time here. Okay, so love and acceptance of myself and others is growing daily in my heart. And you can tap on your heart for this one as well, or on your temple, either way. Love and acceptance of myself and others is growing daily in my heart. Unfortunately, there's a lot of judgment out there. People aren't following the rules. They're not isolating. They're out, having parties sometimes. And it's hard for us to be like, don't you know what's happening? Don't you know what's going on out there? Or the other way around. Do you think that if you don't really know what's going on out there and you're just continuing life as is? Let's try not to judge each other as we're doing it, okay? Let's love and acceptance of myself and others is growing daily in my heart. 128. The next belief statement, releasing statement. Okay, yeah, here's the trust one. I am able to place trust in spirit. This is where we have to be. This is where we have to be to be able to heal ourselves 100%. That's the number that we're clearing right now, right? What percentage do I have the power to heal myself? Tap on your temple. I am able to place trust in spirit. I am able to place trust in God. Whatever belief, whatever word you want to use, I am able to place trust in God. And one more. I am free to imagine a world without limiting beliefs. So right now we're limited. We're limited in our own space. We're limited with our friends. We're limited in what we can say and do with other people. It's challenging. We have to imagine a world and move out of where we are. Imagine a place that's safe to be without limiting beliefs. What that does is it opens our world, this bubble that we're in, not our protective bubble. Maybe sometimes it is though, but we can look up instead of looking down at our feet and dealing with these things one right in front of us. We pick our head up and look out, and how can we fix what's going on out beyond our little bubble, right? I am free to imagine a world without limiting beliefs. Okay, good. Okay, so there are more on this list. Unfortunately, we can't do them all in an hour. It takes me usually like 20 minutes to do one person, but I believe that all of you have been cleared of those 3 up to 100%. And so I'm really happy with that. You guys definitely signed up for this and we're ready to rock. So thank you for trusting the process with this. I really appreciate that. It makes my life much easier.
Yes, and keep checking us, Gina. I'm just gonna check in here with everybody's container shift. This feels so much different. Are you guys noticing anything as you said the clearing statements and tapped your temples? Did you feel anything, any shifts? Feel free to type in and let us know, or if you have any questions or comments.
And if you didn't feel anything, please don't be afraid to say so, because maybe you specifically, I have to clear, it said that it was good. So I'd be surprised if anyone said that, but sometimes these clearings take a few days to kick in as well. Usually 7 days is the max, but the conscious mind has to get around this stuff. I mean, I have faith that we can create a happy life. Like if you are so down and frozen in your fear right now, it's going to take you a couple days. And every morning when you wake up and you noticed a slight little shift, you tap yourself, you pat yourself on the back and you say, yes, I'm doing it. You have to recognize these little shifts as you're growing and as you're clearing yourself and healing yourself. That's how you become your own healer, right? So please, if you notice the smallest shift or the smallest glimmer of light, acknowledge it and be proud of yourself.
Yeah, so Cody said when the percentage jumped from 75 to 95, that he felt tingles go through the whole body like ripples of light. That's awesome. April says she feels really grounded. Elaine also super grounded. Jane says she feels really expansive in her heart. Michelle said she feels tired. Michelle, do you want to share anything else that you're feeling? Feel free to do that.
Yeah, and Michelle, that's normal for a lot of people. You know, I'm kind of up in your space right now, and as soon as I pull out, you'll feel I'm not in your bubble. You still have your protection, but I am, kind of tapping into the psyche. So once I get out of your space, you'll feel better.
Yeah, David said he's feeling more activated. He can feel where he's been holding tension in his body and he's able to let it go, starting to let it go. Julia said she feels grounded, very warm, and heart beating faster. Alana says she feels more grounded and peaceful. Michelle said possibly because she's never really grounded. Yeah, so sometimes when we get grounded and we start doing those grounding exercises and really sinking in with the earth, you will fall asleep or you just feel super, super heavy, like you can't move. That's a really good indication that your grounding is working. So the best thing you guys can do right now is actually like drink lots of water and go to sleep, and just allow yourselves to restructure to this higher frequency. The whole collective feel like when we started, I don't know how you guys were feeling, but when I was asking what was going on, it was almost unbearable for me because it was getting really wonky. And now it feels like the waves in the sea went away and it's like tranquil. April says she feels more relaxed. The other April says she feels warm. Justin says, thank you, Amelía and Gena. This was fun. Great. Miho says, thank you so much. She joined in the middle, but she feels warm and joy. That's wonderful. Satya said she feels more whole and nourished. Yeah, you guys, it's really important. I mean, this self-isolation or forced isolation, quarantining, whatever it is in your neck of the woods, is actually such an amazing time for us to really own our bubble and get clear about what's ours and not ours. And notice, like, if you're turning on the news or whatever media you're checking, like how it makes you feel. And if you start feeling the anxiety again, just go back into your bubble, come back to this recording. It's going to be here in this group for you. So you can replay it again and again, or just go through the comments and find those statements and then go ahead and tap them back in to your system. Because right now, how do you want to explain how the clearings work, Gena? Because this has always been fun for me to understand. Why don't you say that while I'm checking the other comments?
Yeah, sure. So these clearings in general are permanent. Now, sometimes when we clear something, it will come off in layers. So it'll take a couple, more sessions or something like that to really nail something down. But for the most part, you know that this is a huge step for clearing these things. You are now really conscious of what you need to do. Was it Michelle that has a hard time grounding? Was that who that was? And that's a big deal, Michelle, because when you solve problems and you are able to get a lot of things done, you pop out, right? So, I mean, I don't know you and I don't even know what you look like, so I'm going out on a limb here. But the more that you can learn how to stay in your body and solve problems and do issues without bouncing back and forth along timelines and however else we do it, or at least if you do that, you get back in your body when you're done 100%, you will find your energy, your physical body, your well-being, everything will increase. So I hope that it's a good lesson for everybody during this time of some panic and fear and confusion, that if you are feeling that, you're able to deal with it, maybe experience it, ask why you're experiencing it, and then get back into your body and ground out again. It's okay to have these emotions and feelings, and it's okay to do it, but getting back into your body is essential. Grounding back out is essential.
Yeah, Kiki says, I feel empowered and hopeful, more grounded than I have in days. Thank you so much. So much gratitude for you ladies. Yeah, okay. And, you know, we have about 10 minutes left. I want to share a few more resources with you guys. Most of you in this group have seen this, but I do have a free video series called Master the Art of Change. And it really talks, I have another video on annihilating fear to just kind of help you go through. You can listen again and again. So it's good that if you have that, if you don't, just send me a personal message with your email and I'll make sure that it comes in your inbox. There's also, it's a mini course. So there's a video on what the spiritual awakening is, how we're shifting. I think it'll help explain what's going on and what a dark night of the soul is for those of you who are new to the process that we're now in collectively. We're in a collective dark night leveling up. So please go ahead and grab that free resource. Come back here to this group. There's a poll that I posted a few days ago asking if anybody knows anyone who's sick or what the status is, so that we can make sure that we're sending prayers directly to anyone that's affecting our community or any of your loved ones here. So go ahead and if you want to write a first name or share any stories that's happening, this is a place for support. Rashi says she joined late, but what resonated was I usually always completely trust the universe, but my father had a brain stroke. He's in ICU. I'm sorry, Rashi. And the domestic flights are shut and I can't be with him. The limitation has been difficult, but I could feel the trust in the universe and came back. Yeah, sending prayers, Rashi, to your father. Wow, that's hard. It's hard right now for anyone who's just sick with something that would happen despite the pandemic, because all the energy's going to that. It's like, if you have another problem, it's like not being addressed. I know quite a few people have had loved ones die recently or are in the process of dying and they can't be with them. And that's really, really rough. If any of you are going through something really extreme or want a more personal clearing, Gena is offering private sessions for you, so you can jump in and get a mini clearing. You want to say how that works, Gena? I know you have two different ways to do that.
Thank you. Yeah, I offer a few different options. My website is happyhealingsoul.com, Happy Healing Soul. You can go on there, feel it out. I know that choosing a healer is very specific to you, so go on there, maybe read about what I do, and I'd be happy to work with all of you, obviously. So.
Yeah, I'm just popping it into the comments here, so you guys can do that. I'll also pop that link for my free video course. And what else? How are you guys feeling? Agata says she feels peaceful. Thank you. Yeah, you guys, we're all here to check in and support. So even though you're alone or something's going on, please reach out. Know that there is a ton of support here. I feel that this is a time where, each one of us is being asked to dig so deep and to really birth that special gift that you carry to ground your mission here on the planet. And for those of you who don't know about the school, my mystery school, Know the Self, that's what I help people do. I mentor them in that process. So if you are interested in that, or you feel like you're close to birthing it and you need help really understanding, facing your fears and grounding that, reach out to me. I will put a link in the comments to that as well. In the meantime, please be kind. Make sure that you understand your own intuition and instincts versus other people's opinions about what you should be doing. Really listen deeply and follow your own path. It's imperative. And then make sure that you're connecting with people that you feel good with. Like if you only get limited connection with people, make sure it's with the people that you really enjoy and love, right? It's a beautiful time to restart. Satya says, thank you from Elaine. Anything else you want to add, Gina, or anyone else? Feel free to type it in.
Yeah, if you guys have questions for me too, please go ahead and type it in, and Amelia will read it off for me. I'm having trouble with my screen over here. I just think that the main thing to keep in mind is that we're going to come through this in a different light. And it sounds cheesy and kind of silly in the moment of trauma, but we have to keep remembering that we have to have trust of what's to come, as painful as it may be for a lot of us.
Yeah, it's not cheesy. I mean, we were born for this. We've known about it. It's here. Maybe it feels a little bit theatrical. I pulled some cards before we started, and they were really beautiful. This is kind of where we're at now, the sun, which is, you know, the new beginnings, and just like a lot of hope. I feel like there's a lot of hope, and this is where we're headed. The high priestess. So it's, you know, the deep insights, but the next step is a bit of melodrama, you know, so we've got to kill the thoughts and kill the fear that comes up. This is the job that each one of us has to do that. So, you know, it might get worse before it gets better, but remember, this is where we're headed. This is a time that we all signed up to be alive, and each one of you has a solution to the piece of this puzzle. Like we all are puzzle pieces that when we come together and we really bring our authentic presence forward, not what we think we should do or what someone told us to do or what we think might advance us in some way, but what we're really authentically gifted with, and what our true heart desire is yearning for and asking us to step forward with, that is the gift that's needed at this time. So please dig deep, you guys, and really like bring that to life. And it doesn't, there's no competition for you, right? A lot of people are in this panic of like, what am I going to do next? I'm losing my job. Many of you are losing your job. Yes. And this is a perfect opportunity to do what really, really lights you up. This is the other card I pulled tonight, which is called Going Beyond Normal. And I'm going to just read this in closing, because it's kind of, I think it will sum up everything that we've done tonight. Going beyond normal. On the path of life, there are deciding moments when we can choose to go with the mainstream, or we can dare to take a bolder, more authentic and trusting way, even if it seems riskier or less safe. To rely solely on logic and science without incorporating the mysterious and magical is a recipe for an existence that is far too dry. The sacred rebel within our hearts will always choose a juicier approach to life. You are currently approaching such a choice point. You could say that the choice is about balance. It's less about choosing to honor either art or science, gardening or architecture, and more about integrating all approaches so that you enhance rather than hinder your life journey. Placing science or architecture above all else kills off the rebellious heart. Steadfastly relying on logic, proof, and a complete set of plans to measure and dictate outcomes will suffocate the soul. Basing decisions on limited factors with an imbalanced measure of success is unnecessarily limiting. This approach prevents us from living freely, spontaneously, and with trust so that we can rebel against the need for things to go strictly according to plan. Choosing to value decisions based on passion and instinct and trust in life enough to embrace it as an adventure and let it unfold as it will. There's a time and a place for logic, strategy, planning, and measurable outcomes. These are not bad tools to have, but we must be vigilant not to worship them or allow them to squash our less rational but equally valuable decision-making tools: intuition, feelings, and those things you know without knowing how you know them. The flowing, the inspirational energy of the heart may have no conceivable basis in logic or reason and still be uncannily accurate. To remain rebellious, we must not sacrifice the art of emotion, instinct, passion, and intuition for the science of logic and strict planning. On the other hand, gardening and art do provide us with a plan, albeit more loosely held. This plan still requires us to set aside time to draw upon reliable methods and to prepare with certain tools. However, there's also a healthy dose of organic flow, responsiveness, and trust in the creative process of bringing something to life. This leads to the cultivation of the most beautiful, abundant, and successful garden and the most vivid healing art. You are being asked to stay open to the intuitive approach in your life, your work, your creativity, as well as in your spiritual journey. The intuitive approach can be likened to a method of a gardener or an artist. There's a sense of what might work, where, and a loose or even detailed plan. But how the plan is carried out will depend on and respond to the flow of its surroundings. There's no need to control the situation, but rather a desire to nurture an idea to fruition. You may have pressures around you from the world or from your own conditioned nature to do things according to the rules, to a deadline, or to the accepted mainstream view that you need a well thought out plan for success in a commercial venture. However, sometimes the best plan is to do what feels intuitively truthful in the moment and to trust that you are being led towards your own growth. Adopting this approach means you have to do far less planning and far more living. It's a pure and heart-centered way to manifest your art, your life path, and your essence into practical expression in the world. It involves a willingness to be led by nature instead of trying to control the powerful force of life, which is a bit like trying to fit a proverbial ocean in a teacup. It's far more intelligent to allow the ocean to be the ocean and to learn to swim in it rather than trying to cram it into a vessel that is much too small. This oracle brings you a special piece of guidance. You are moving outside of the plan. You are living on the border of what is socially accepted. This is good. This is fringe dwelling freedom. Others might not see this about you straight away as you seem pretty normal, but that secret eccentric streak is just waiting to show itself. And maybe you are an out and proud fringe dweller, completely comfortable for this way of being. Either way, the oracle brings you the message that you now have a chance to live from the heart more deeply and expressively than ever before. It wants you to realize that this is a legitimate, empowered, and creative way to live that honors all of who you are. You can give up forcing or squashing yourself down into a very limited set of so-called desirable qualities like intellect and control. If you are yet to relate to this consciously, this oracle brings you the further message that you're going to be breaking with tradition, perhaps not entirely, but at least in a way that is meaningful to you. This will require you to have courage in your convictions and faith in your heart truths. This will help you and inspire others around you to step out of fear and live more freely and lovingly. You are not necessarily meant to abandon logic and intellect altogether. You are to use them to serve the desires of the heart rather than to replace its naturally spontaneous and truthful nature with controlled planning and narrow strategy. It's time to get a bit wild and let nature take its course. So say aloud, I now call on unconditional love and ask for the blessings of the heart to be witnessed and sanctioned by the great universal creator, so that I may rise above all small-mindedness and use the best of what human culture has to offer in service to love through my own free will. So be it. Visualize or imagine the feeling of being in the most gorgeous garden. It might be well manicured, a little bit wild, or a wildly overgrown jungle. Just notice it. Notice how all the plants work together, how it's supported by nature and the seasons. Notice that while some things thrive, others fall away, only to shift again with the season. There is such organizational genius. Say aloud, may the wisdom and the guiding hand of the great gardener who works with unconditional love, nurture the garden of my soul into magnificence. I'm going to read that again so you can say this aloud. May the wisdom and guiding hand of the great gardener who works with unconditional love nurture the garden of my soul into magnificence. I dare to live creatively from my heart and thrive. I dare to live creatively from my heart and thrive. So you can finish this healing process by just sitting quietly, dancing wildly, or doing a lot of gardening, or sleeping, or taking a bubble bath, whatever feels good. Thank you guys for being with us tonight. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, evening, whatever time zone you're in. And feel free to invite your friends to this group, send them to the replay, and let us know what kind of support you're needing. Thank you. Thank you so much, Gena, for doing this collective clearing for us.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Bye for now.